Are you talking about the reality TV show? Okay. Obviously, that's a mixed bag. I think any kind of public exposure and that shows Asian Americans in different lights is positive. The vast majority of media perception about us is typically, you know, quiet, reserved, educated, or a gangster. So I remember this. I was in Sydney, and we had like eight students, like 8 Asian guys, and we literally just grab a table, and you know, we just literally manhandle a table from a bunch of people. And the entire night, we're bringing girls back to our table just to talk to, and we hear from a bunch of like the Australians. They're triad. Don't fuck with them. That's it. So obviously, though, when K-Town, whenever, you know, I think it was picked up. I was reading Tate Diggs like it was picked up. That there will be more douchebaggery involved. So obviously, not necessarily the most positive, but you know what? It's at least it you know, it shows that we do run the spectrum. All right, and we're not simply cornered in one market. So, right.
So it seems like you teach confidence a lot, like it's the main thing you teach a lot of guys. But I think there's a fine line between confidence and like creepy / overbearing, and also like arrogant or obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you teach them like about distinguishing between like falling into those categories or crossing those lines?
That's a good point. What I said before is like, you don't know what the line is. You don't know the border is until you step off. I have realized, I can't speak for other companies, but realize the guys I'm teaching are probably guys that you know. These are the guys that you probably go to study with. These are probably the type of guys that are incredibly intelligent, educated, motivated, but not successful with women. So for them to go from shy and quiet and very, very nice guys to full-on playerdom is few and far between. Again, it's, you know, creepy can be fixed. You know, it's the process. It can be. It's because a lot of guys don't realize how they're projecting themselves. One of the big things I see with Asian students is what I call the Asian poker face. The lack of range when it comes to facial expressions. No, I mean, like all the Asian guys, who here has been to like a white party with your white friends, and maybe, you know, your friend would be like, dude, are you angry? A lot of Asian guys, you know, and part of that, no, it's like, it comes to like psychologically people of different races are have a harder time distinguishing your facial expressions. It's like how us Asians, we can be like, okay, that one's Chinese, you know, she's Japanese, he's Vietnamese. Like a white person's like, what are you talking about? He's Asian. Like we can tell, but that's because we're used to it. And secondly, they've done studies where it's kind of like witness studies where, you know, people forget your physical appearance after 3 days, unless you're extremely handsome. Or extremely ugly, people will forget what you look like. This is also why we say don't wait for 3 days to call a girl, just call it like the next 2. But again, also throwing in the fact that the first emotion that any women will unconsciously recognize walking into a room, all right, it's not happiness, it's not fear, it's anger. Okay, it comes from, you know, evolution or whatever. Is, you know, is this guy creepy? Is he dangerous? You know, and if she's black or white, and she's looking at you, and you just have like, you're gonna freak the girl out, and you're gonna come up as creepy, even if you don't mean to. I remember one of my classes, I had this high school teacher, you know, a Korean guy, and you know, and Sarah was trying to help him out, and it's like, smile, smile, and he was like, like literally, it would be like he was so completely unpracticed at smiling. And then it's like when you got to know him, he was incredibly cool. I mean, you know, he found it very rewarding teaching students, and he really cared about his students and how they progressed. But on surface level, you couldn't tell. Right? So, but to reiterate, I think, you know, getting these shy, nice guys into even kind of cocky is an accomplishment. You know that question right here?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So what are nice guys doing about?
Everything. No. Here's the big thing about nice guys. There's a difference between like the nice guys and the great guy. Okay. A nice guy is someone who thinks by being nice, you're going to be able to manipulate a girl into being attracted to you. You're doing nice things, you're driving around, you're buying her presents because you're going to make her like you. That's the classic definition of a nice guy. You're being nice, not because you're generally nice, but because you think by being nice to the girl and winning, you're going to win her over by doing her favors. And I think every attractive girl here can think about a guy who just kept on doing stuff, was coming up as creepy. He was dead. Right? That's a nice guy. Now there's a difference between the nice guy and the great guy. Alright? So again, the act of being nice is in and of itself not a bad thing. But it's why you're doing it. Are you doing it because you're trying to manipulate a girl into making her attracted to you? Are you trying to buy her gifts because you think by buying her gifts, you can buy her affection? They were trying to teach you this is you. You are radiating your own internal characteristics and making her attracted to you because of who you are, and not because you're trying to be nice and buy her affection. Hopefully that answers that.
I think we're going to have to end. I see a few more questions.
I do have CDs to give away. Any of the guys? A few.
So I hope you've all learned something. I certainly have learned quite a lot.